An operation between an integer and real always yields a real result. In this operation, the integer is first promoted to a real and then the operation is performed, hence the result is real. So uh, integer, the operation between integer and real always will yield a real result. So I think a few practical examples shown in the following figure would put issue beyond doubt. So these are some practical examples uh, between operation between real and integer. Now operation result. So operation 5 by 2, that is result is 2. Now 5.0 divided by 2, so 5.0 is float now, and divided by 2 it is result is 2.5. Now 5 divided by 2.0, it is 2.5. Now 5.0 divided by 2.0 is 2.5. Now operation 2 divided by 5, that is 0. Now 2.0 divided by 5, it is 4. Now 2 divided by 5.0, it is 0.4. And 2.0 divided by 5.0, it is 0.4. So these are operations and relations between integer and real. Type conversion in assignments. It may so happen that the type of expression and type of variable on left hand side of the assignment operator may not be same. So it can happen that type of the expression on the left hand side and assignment operator may not be same. In such a case, the value of the expression is promoted or demoted depending on type of variable on left hand side of is equal to. For example, consider following assignment statements. int I float b, I is equal to 3.5, b is equal to 30. Here the first assignment statement, though the expression value is a float 3.5, it cannot be stored in I because it is an int. So int is an I, so it cannot be stored in. So 3.5 is a float, but I is declared as an int, so it cannot be stored in I since it is an int. Similarly, in such a case, float is demoted to an int and then its value is stored. Hence what gets stored in I is 3. Exactly opposite happens in next statement. So here the float gets demoted and only 3 will be stored. Here 30 is promoted to 30.0000 and then stored in B, since B being a float variable cannot hold anything except a float value. So that means 30 is promoted to 30.000. So it was written wrong that it was an integer. It was a float, but it was actually integer. So it is promoted to 30.000 and then stored in B, since B being a float variable, it cannot hold anything except a float value. For example, consider the following program fragment. So if we look at following program fragment, float a comma b comma c int s is equal to a star b star c divided by 100 plus 32. So this is here the assignment statement. Some operators are ints. Here in the assignment statement, some operators are ints whereas others are floats. As we know, during evaluation of expression, ints would be promoted to floats and the result of expression would be float. But when this float value is assigned to s, then again demoted to int and then stored in s. So basically float should be written as floats and int should be written as ints. So here in the assignment statement, some operands are ints whereas some are floats. So in this statement, some operands are ints and some are floats. As we know, during evaluation of expression, the ints would be promoted to float. So int will be promoted to float and result of expression would be a float and result will be float. But when this float value is assigned to s, again it is demoted to int and stored in s.